And welcome to Monday morning football here at Bluewater Stadium and what's going to be a very hot and sunny Napier today. We bring you the first of the semi-finals live here in Bluewater Stadium between Tauranga and Wellington Olympic. I'm Chris American commentary here on Cello Sport, and with me again is James McPeak. Welcome, James.
Cheers for having me again, Chris. Looks like it's going to be a beautiful day up here in Napier for some finals football.
Absolutely. So the boys out there still looking fresh. Obviously they've played 6 games in this tournament already. So it's going to be a tall order to get out there and find your feet nice and early in the first half of this massive semi-final. Just to recap, the semi-finals will be slightly longer than the group stages, so 30 minutes each way. If they can't be separated after full time, we go into 2 periods of 7.5 minutes of extra time. And if they still can't be separated, it goes down to the dreaded penalty shootouts. So always high drama. Of course, Wellington Olympic took their quarter-final into extra time yesterday. So they've got a few extra minutes in the legs, so we'll see how they recover from that. But after being 0-0 at extra time in the quarters, they went on to beat Northland 4-0. So just steamrolled home once they got that go-ahead goal. But it's always one of those things that gets you as the side when you go down with such a short time frame to recover. So I'm sure the excitement of the semi-final will get them up and about. The quarter-final for Tauranga, of course, tightly fought win against the hosts, Napier City Rovers 1-0. So they'll find themselves with 15 minutes less in the legs, but no doubt just as up for it as Wellington Olympic. For those tuning in who aren't too sure of the teams, Tauranga will be playing in the all-black and Wellington Olympic playing in the all-white. Obviously, we've got this game coming to you live from Bluewater Stadium. The other semi-final is being played out on pitch number 4. So we are streaming that one as well. So if you're watching this in the gap before the final, you can jump onto YouTube, onto the Cello Sport channel there and watch the other semi-final. Of course, immediately following this, we have the women's final being played between Petone Football Club and Nelson City. So make sure you stay tuned and watch that as we see the teams entering the field of play. Run through the lineups for you. If we go through Tauranga first, Troy Taylor is in goal. Number 2, Kemp. Number 5, Skunderward. Number 6, Rostron. 7, Knight. 9, Bedouin. 10, McCod. 14, Toy. 15, Brown. And 23, Hoynink. Wellington Olympic will start with Hunt in goal. Number 11, Thurston. 99. Going right up the number range. Khalid. 26, Colette. 34, Rota. 18, Itama. 14, Lucas Halakias. 25, Jones. 13, Shearer. 24, Walker. And 32, Ryoga. So obviously coming through the group stages, both sides dominant, having to win your pool to get out. Olympic did that with a 4-1 win over Wanganui Athletic. A 6-0 victory over Papamoa. A 5-0 win over the Napier City Rovers development side and a 1-0 win over Petone before rounding out with a 2-0 victory over Christchurch United. And then the quarter-final, as we discussed, 4-0 over Northland Football Club after extra time. Tauranga's route to the final, semi-final included a 2-1 win over Karori, a 2-0 win over Taupo, a 3-0 win over Havelock North Wanderers, and a 2-1 victory over Nelson Suburbs. They did have a bye in their group. Obviously, they played a friendly in that gap, so both teams coming in with the same number of games. And obviously, their quarterfinal win over the hosts, 1-0.
About to get underway here. What are you expecting to see from this game this morning, Chris?
Yeah, I'm expecting the first 5 minutes to be a little bit patchy. Just there'll be a lot of stiff legs out there and trying to get the recovery in after those 6 games over the last 2 days. Certainly the high-intensity ones in the quarter-final stage. And as we discussed, Olympic playing that little bit longer few minutes, which do add up when you are going game after game. But once they start to settle and the legs free up, I think we should see a pretty free-flowing game. Olympic draw an early free kick. First chance to get numbers into the box. I did catch a bit of the game against Wanganui Athletic over the end of day 1. And after trailing early, they looked very dangerous on set piece. I think 3 of their goals came from corners. First delivery comes in. Keeper's missed it. Clear off the line. There's a chance. Off the line again. And again. There's a flag. Well, I said it might be a slow start, Jimmy, but we're a minute in and we had 3 off the line.
Some fantastic last-ditch defending there from the Tauranga City defenders. Good intention from the GK to get out and try command his area, but unfortunately might have lost it in the sun. And defenders came to help him out a wee bit, which is great as a goalkeeper, knowing you've got that defensive fortitude behind you.
Limp it back out into the wide areas. Look dangerous early. Great work out there. Olympic managed to keep the ball out of the challenge. Recycle it through to this right-hand side, where Rota will pick up the ball.
Very good press here from Tauranga City, letting them play into an area that they want to pick the pocket.
Opening up for Tauranga here if they can get their last ball through, but comfortably collected through to the goalkeeper. High press has certainly been a theme for many of these sides. It's really going to be a test of the legs going into day 3 here with longer halves, semi-final, final time if you're lucky enough to make that final, to keep that intensity up over the games. I've been really impressed. We saw Miramar in the quarter-final, particularly the first half before they put that game to bed. Their aggressive press was just non-stop for that first period of play. Really paid dividends.
I think the key for a lot of teams in the press as the leagues get heavy is actually picking your moment. So identifying what that trigger is to make an effective press, and then saving it for that one or two moments in the game, and being really effective in that press and really high pressure. And then until you find those moments, actually just sitting in your shape, being comfortable, and then like I say, just waiting for that moment.
I'm kind of seeing marks of that here. Olympic comfortable. The Tauranga can play across their back line, waiting for that ball into midfield to really apply the pressure. But they go for a longer range of pass. Smart defending to cut that chance out.
Again, some really good movement along the line of the back 4, and unfortunately it's very difficult to pass that runner on like we saw yesterday, on Saturday in some of the games. It's very difficult to pass that runner along the back 4 if he's running off your shoulder.
Tauranga again, control position through the back. Looking to link through midfield with a little ball over the top. And this will be a theme from the Olympic bench. McIntyre getting out of his chair, coming out to instruct his troops. Very vocal from the sideline. Of course, long history at this tournament with Lower Hutt City for a long period of time. So he knows how to win these things.
Again, Tauranga just happy to let the Olympic centre halves be on the ball. You can certainly see a much slower pace when the ball goes out of play from both these teams.
Yeah, certainly taking the chance to get a breather in when the ball goes out, and the lack of ball boys around with COVID restrictions, of course. McIntyre asking them to get the ball back into play. He needs the ball in field. Want to see his boys playing. Long range of throw, but comfortably cleared. Quite low in the early stages over the crowd. I'll put that down to it being 9:05 in the morning on a Monday morning after a long weekend. Sure, as the action starts to heat up, I know Olympic have brought a big contingent up for the weekend, as they always do. Had their big team and supported barbecue last night, so you the heavy heads might pick up the noise shortly.
Obviously, the Hawke's Bay well known for its vineyards and cideries, so they may have been enjoying the hospitality a little bit too much over the recent days.
So Shearer collects out wide. He beats his first man, draws the foul. Good advantage played, and they'll come back for the free kick in a dangerous area.
Again, early on, we saw some really good delivery from Olympic off set piece, so we'll look for that to be a theme and to really try to capitalise. It's a trademark of Coach McIntyre's teams, effective on set piece and really taking these opportunities to get shots on target from a dead ball situation.
Yeah, Tauranga obviously recognising this threat. They're just leaving the one out at this point. Everybody else is inside the area. Delivery to the near post. Good header clear. Great turn under pressure. Finds the link-up plate. Just eased off it, but can't clear. Let me continue. He's gone for the back post. Just a little bit too much. The early scare from Tauranga there. So again, a warm welcome to everyone joining us for the coverage today, especially those out of the region who can't travel to be here to watch in person, particularly those clubs in Auckland and club members in Auckland who might be tuning in without being able to get down here yourself. Obviously sorely missed, and I'm sure you'll be pointing out that the 3 Wellington clubs in the semi-finals are a sign that the Auckland sides aren't here, and I'm sure you'll be back to prove your point into the next tournament in 2022. Olympic work it well into the area. Get it back to the edge. Nice little 1-2. Last touch doesn't land. This is a good start from Olympic, James.
Yeah, they look very confident and especially in that attacking third, little intricate passing 1 and 2. Obviously, a few of these boards have played together throughout the year with their reserve team, with Coach McIntyre again. So the chemistry's there. And again, yeah, there's a bit of flair out there. So Lucas Halakias is obviously going to be a pivotal member of the team for Olympic today, and he's sort of been at the centre of most things good so far.
Yeah, we've certainly seen these matches throughout the tournament kind of ebb and flow, every team having a period of dominance. We haven't seen Tauranga get into the game too much as yet. Been forced back onto the back foot by a strong start from Olympic. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of threat that they're going to pose once they start getting a bit more sustained possession and start moving up through the thirds. And we can see through their results so far, they've only conceded twice in the tournament so far, which is incredible, the number of games that you have to play in short turnarounds. So obviously very, very well organised.
Fantastic press here from Olympic.
Great ball into the area. Strike, goal! And Olympic take an early lead. Here's the Olympic fans on the far side. A great piece of turnover play for Olympic.
Again, when they turned it over, pressing quickly and then releasing forward, getting numbers in around the box.
Lucas Halakias with a nice little drive and then clever ball into the area and a first time finish. No chance for the goalkeeper.
1-0 Olympic. And now, obviously, as you've mentioned, Olympic haven't conceded a lot of goals so far. What does Tauranga need to do to try and get another one on the score sheet to take this game deeper?
Yeah, you just hope that, you know, what semi-finals are like. They're high pressure and no one really wants to lose a semi-final, so they can start off a little bit cagey. But with the goals should spark this game into life now. Tauranga have the game to come out and chase. Plenty of time, of course. We're only 10 minutes in. And the halves are slightly longer, being 30-minute halves for the semi-final. So time's not an issue. But it's going to spark them and they're going to have to chase this game.
Again, we can see here Olympic very, very comfortable with the centre half and Tauranga having the ball. And doing well to tidy up the longer pass.
Halakias on the drive again. Referee looks to play the advantage. He sees he's not getting it, so it comes back.
Interesting here. Tauranga not sending too many players forward.
He's got the two on the edge of the area, so you'd assume that they'll play this short. Great win from Halikias again. Olympic ride the challenge. Stronger challenges starting to come in now. As we said, they've gone through that initial stage, so they'll be warm. Competitiveness getting very tight in those condensed areas. May have heard the coaching staff asking the Olympic players to show inside, so they want to get that shape set up to invite the Tauranga players into midfield where they can turn the ball over and counter-attack quickly. Again, Tauranga go for the longer range pass. This time they find feet.
Some good movement beyond from Liam Knight there. And it looks like he's won. No. Assistant referee decides it's a goal kick. Already Tauranga looking to make sure that Olympic don't slow the game down too much.
Appear to be happy to take the longer option from the goal kick. Just move the play further up the park. Deep clearance. First header from Tauranga. Just can't get quite high enough in his jump, so he sends the flick on further back, and the secondary clearance has to go out. So good attacking position for an Olympic throw-in.
Certainly don't mind that from your GK hitting at 60 yards on the fly.
Yeah, I think he surprised everyone, including the Tauranga back four. Yeah, it looks like he's going to go for a longer throw. Tauranga win the first header again, but at the expense of a corner. And, yeah, we've already discussed early in this coverage that corners have been a strength for Olympic in the attacking phase. But Olympic couldn't dream of a better start here. Super performance, dominating this game through the first quarter of an hour. Good delivery. Half cleared from Tauranga. They'll complete it now, and Knight will bring it forward, and he's got acres of space ahead of him. Hasn't got too much support, so he's going to have to keep carrying. First defender slips. Knight looking to make a run again. Great ball through. Bit of a deflection.
A little bit scrappy there from Ling, but it's effective.
Ball to the back post.
And very
Great
well
goalkeeping.
done. You like to see that from your goalkeeper, don't you, Chris?
Absolutely. Just commanding. If you know it's going to float into the area and your goalkeeper's going to come out and grab it, you could just start to make a move forward to start the counter-attack. Given away by Halikias. Probably the first misstep he's made in semi-finals so far. Good clip out tonight. Really looks to be the go-to, does Knight, out here.
And the flag's gone up here.
Yeah, Jordan Toy just getting ahead of the play slightly there.
I'm not sure Matt College is too happy there. It looks like there was a 3v3 situation for Tauranga, so from a defensive perspective, Olympic will be probably looking to keep an extra man at least in defence. You know, you're 1-0 up, and certainly don't want to be conceding anytime soon. Fantastic distribution. Unfortunately, the touch let him down there on the far side.
So Tauranga's main threat at this stage looks to be that channel ball into Knight. Struggling to get enough support up there to really be creative once he's got it. I'm sure as they build into it, they'll get further forward and support. They've got lots of numbers forward now for this ball. They cleared it, and yeah, there'll be a free kick. Little nudge as he goes up for the header. Yeah, it's an interesting tactic that we've seen through a number of sides at this tournament so far, and that is the first ball going short, then loading up that front line with 5, sometimes 6 players in there, and then trying to get that clip and play off that second phase. I think Napier has done very well for a number of years at the senior level as well. The risk, of course, is if you don't win that second phase ball, you can be countered very quickly. Good delivery. Defensive header just takes it out towards the corner flag. Tauranga will look to recycle. That ball's left short. And Knight can't make it, so Olympic will bring it forward on the counter-attack. Just a heavy touch gets turned over. Again, first cross easily cleared. Olympic do well, driving out to win the throw-in. And settle it down again.
Again, just working the line, finding an area there for Olympic, and living off that second phase ball. Unfortunately, the touch was a little bit heavy there. But again, another good press here from Olympic, making sure Knight goes backwards.
Knight's come really deep to receive this.
Apologies if any listeners heard that language.
Great recovery defence from Tauranga City there. Referee's just going to have a word.
I think the idea was right, just the way he communicated it was not quite as effective.
He's been booked for it as well. Silly booking to get at this stage of the match. Puts himself on a completely unnecessary tightrope. I guess, 17 minutes into this game, first sign of real frustration that he's not getting the movement ahead of him that he wants. And what we've seen from a lot of sides, particularly on day one when we covered it, was that the good sides had great rotation between their midfield and their high line, that they were getting into the right spaces, and it didn't matter where players were. There was always the option forward that their system of play allows. When Knight drops so deep to receive it, if one of the midfielders isn't taking his role further up the park, they're not going to have that outlet to play, and I think that's where the frustration came from.
Composure here from Olympic, not afraid to recycle the ball.
Great step through. Just a little bit heavy with the touch. It was the right idea, drive inside, just lay the little one down to the byline for the delivery, but just too much on it. Hearing big noises coming out from pitch 4, so we'll keep you updated with what's happening out there.
So again, slow build up here from Tauranga City, giving Olympic a chance to get 11 players behind the ball. It's a relatively straight ball and easily dealt with by the Olympic defenders. So North Wellington's gone up 1-0 across on pitch 4.
That would be a huge upset in the context of the tournament, should that result hold. I mean, Miramar's got the quality to get that back, no doubt, but wonderful start for North Wellington. Tauranga get a bit of space. Jordan Toy moves the ball forward. He's gone down, but there was no questions of a penalty. He never asked for it. He just tried to get up and carry on playing.
It's fantastic work backwards from the Olympic midfielder there.
Great run from Biwa to get in behind. Really just slipped when he tried to turn and went down. There was a few half-hearted, hopeful appeals from the sideline, but nothing given. Player just tried immediately to get to his feet to pick up the second phase. Good first touch from a difficult ball, but can't keep it in, so Tauranga will get us restarted with a throw-in. But another heavy touch.
Again, 20 minutes in here, you're probably starting to see the legs get a bit heavy again, so it'll be interesting to see how this last 10 minutes of the half play out.
Yeah, at this point in the tournament, you can tolerate a few heavy touches here or there and a couple of missed time challenges, perhaps. You probably won't see anything too nasty, but certainly gets tough as the days go on. But massive carrot to keep the intensity up and the excitement levels going. knowing that there's a place in the final to win. Great step from Tauranga. Unfortunate not to win that ball. This gives Olympic a little bit more freedom to move into. Again, looking for that little ball around the corner down the left-hand side.
So again, the message coming out from the sideline is that final ball. So as you're watching on the stream, you can probably identify that as being the one, I suppose, aspect of the game from Olympic that's letting them down a little bit. Just a little bit of quality with that final ball, and which will allow them to get some more shots on target.
George, can you help here? Yeah, good boy.
So again, Tauranga have the freedom to advance in that back third. Olympic aren't interested in pressing the last man, but certainly as you saw that first ball come into the deeper midfielder, they were all over that and then straight into this one as well. A little bit over keen on the press to give away a free kick, but you can certainly see the Olympics set up. Centre backs, they're happy for them to be on the ball, even if they're moving forward as they're approaching halfway. But as soon as any ball hits midfield, it's full pressure on from there. Same again this time, set up a little bit deeper, letting them come into their half. Another long ball, another safe take from the goalkeeper.
And again, a no rush here, Hunt for Olympic.
Yeah, another great distance on his clearance.
I'd really like to see a few Olympic players get together off those clearances.
Clearance just skews back in, gives Tauranga a chance into the area. Calls for a pass back. Referee not interested. But a little scary moment there for Olympic. Tauranga having a good chance to get into the area.
But again, it's a transition moment that's created the opportunity. The ball's come long. Olympic hasn't got close to the second phase and haven't had an opportunity to set up their defensive structures. So Tauranga just managing to find some space and beyond.
Tauranga continue to build from the back under little pressure. Longer ball forward. Good challenge between the front two. Olympic went out. Can bring us forward again.
Rides a few challenges there.
Yeah, one from Liam Knight. You know, as we talked about with the yellow card for language, he's got to be very careful he doesn't make a bad decision out there. Good ball to the back post. Good strong header. Rostron gets up and wins that first one well. Another delivery in. Another good clearance. Falls to the edge. Strike goes wide.
Again, I was about to say Tauranga was starting to gain a bit of ascendancy there, but then as you can see, the ebb and flow of it all, Olympics probably had their best phase for the last 5 minutes, just on the back of some ascendancy from Tauranga. So again, it's going to be a fascinating game for the next 35 minutes or so. Unfortunately, his touch has taken him backwards there for Tay. If he could get on the half turn there, he was in a little bit of space.
All right, slowly driving out. Again, Olympic have their shape set up. Trying to force them inside into where the traffic is. They do get that ball in there tonight. Knight gets well taken in midfield. See the idea for the quick switch? It's too close and Tauranga pick up, but given away again.
Oh, referee.
Strong challenge in the area. Didn't look like it got too much of the ball. Few question marks. Olympic maintain possession. But no decision made. Just allows play to go on. And Knight picks the pocket. And now will stream forward. Bidwai goes himself and he's got to run out of support. Rolls it through to Ryan McCock. He drives it over.
Again, unfortunately, he just took a little bit too long on the pass and had his forward runners had run themselves offside, and unfortunately it's very hard to reset once you've run yourself offside.
Yeah, I think Knight was the ball. I think if he'd gone Knight earlier, he could probably just lay it off to the left, get himself into the box, and look for the delivery. Made life much tougher on himself when he decided to keep going. But that being said, they still got a chance at the end of it. Albeit probably the lower percentage one with a strike from outside the area, but we've seen some wonderful goals over the course of this weekend. Again, Tauranga bring us forward.
And we can see 6 players across that front line from Tauranga, like you mentioned earlier, Chris.
And this is the problem when you don't connect with it. That ball's been cut out, and if that was slightly more accurate into the right channel, Olympic would have had the overload there. So it's all well and good loading up that front area with 5 or 6 players, but the accuracy has to be on point.
And again, I think that's probably the constant theme throughout this game is, the one time that Olympic were very accurate, it resulted in a goal, and for the rest of the half, neither team has been particularly accurate with just that final ball. And again, that's potentially the fatigue starting to show through. 6 games in 2 days is a lot on the players' bodies, but again, it's a big game here today, so hopefully they can find a little bit extra in the tank.
Tauranga get the ball back into play.
Some good teamwork here from the assistant referee and the referee, making sure they get this decision correct. Again, as Chris has mentioned throughout the broadcast, it's great to have 3-point control in all these matches up here at Napier. Big thanks to the referees for what they do over this long weekend.
Yeah, we've seen a big crew of referees up here. I think they're enjoying their weekend too. But we had spoken to a couple with sore bodies, much like the players. I certainly appreciate the work that they do coming from all around the country. To provide support for such a wonderful tournament. A good longer delivery. Again into a bit of space. Strong to the challenge.
Good decision from the Olympic defender there.
Olympic with a turnover. Just need to be a little bit more patient. They had a great opportunity. And Bedwar to drive into the area now. Slides it across, but it gets a deflection and comfortably into the hands of Hunt.
Very good defending there from Khalid. He's recovered back to goal and managed to get a deflection on the cross and then safely into the goalkeeper's hands.
Yeah, he's gone for the big throw to Halakis, who it's always great controlling one when it comes flying towards your face. I mean, he must have spotted the fact that they had so many numbers committed forward that if he could get the ball going, there was a great chance for a counter-attack. But, we're so close to half-time. Halakis probably would have been happy if he just held on to it as they turn it over again. So he's got all ball in the challenge.
There's a couple of good battles in midfield there. The referee's letting it play, letting the players sort it out for themselves.
Very physical. Hunt's come back to receive it.
I think he's just straight offside there.
Yeah, he has. Fortunate again. Again, as that phase developed, Tauranga had committed those numbers forward, and that first ball that Olympic released counted 6 players on the wrong side of that ball for Tauranga City. So once that goes, it's a mad rush to get back, and the nearest to the ball's got to try to slow the play. Can't really affect it in terms of a challenge. Has to just hold the play up to get support back. The back of that Olympic give away a free kick. Tauranga bring it out, and that brings the first half to its conclusion.
Everyone over here, get in the shape.
First half really flew by, didn't it? It was we were expecting a slower start. Well, I was certainly that we didn't get that Olympic high out of the blocks and took the early goal, and they haven't really seemed like they've been under too much pressure at this point. So I think Olympic, as they come in with coaches College and McIntyre, I think they'll be fairly well comfortable with where they are in relation to this fixture. Tauranga's got 30 minutes to try to turn this around now. I think we've seen enough with the likes of Toy and Bidwar up front, and certainly with Liam Knight linking the play and coming deep and getting into wide areas. I think we've got enough that they could cause a lot of problems and create some chances. But the accuracy from both sides really has to improve if they really want to take a big march into the second half.
Yeah, again, I think Tauranga's created some really good opportunities, but they've been taking some low percentage shots, shall we say. So a lot of long shots from out of the box rather than trying to let the play develop and get closer in towards goal. So you notice the Olympic one, Lucas Alakias managed to slide the ball downside of the defender, and he's finishing from 8 to 10 yards, which becomes far more accurate rather than a 20 or a 30-yard strike. And Hunt in goal for Olympic hasn't really been troubled too much from those shots from distance. So you'd like to see the Tauranga players maybe try to get a little bit closer to goal before taking those opportunities. But again, there's certainly enough been shown so far in the first half to say that it's certainly not going to be a cruise for Olympic in the next 30 minutes.
Absolutely. Hey, if you're just joining the broadcast because you have realised that pitch 4 has stopped working, I'll just give you a quick update on that. And that is that there was an issue with the scoreboard where we were running dual power out of the scoreboard to go power the camera on the far side. And fixing the camera as someone's actually turned power off to both. So that's the reason why your screens have gone blank. And we are working to restore it. Power's restored. So we're just booting everything back up. So do expect that you'll be able to catch the second half. So if that's your preferred game of choice, watching North Wellington Miramar, you will be able to get access to that. So apologies for the interruption. I'm sure it's not ideal. Certainly not ideal for us, having a panic few minutes sitting up here in the commentary box. But we will get that up and running for you as soon as we can.
And just an update from that game, the last that we saw, it was 1-0 to North Wellington. So a big second half coming up over on pitch 4, with the Miramar boys obviously needing to get a couple of goals back to progress through, and North Wellington obviously looking to keep that clean sheet and get themselves a spot in the final later on this afternoon.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the first game that Chiller Sport ever covered with football was essentially the side of the season between both Olympic and Miramar. So I think there are a few messages popping up that that's the final that they'd like to see. But we've certainly seen Tauranga put enough about here that says that they're not going to give Olympic an easy walk to the final, when North Wellington certainly aren't doing that over on pitch 4.
Yeah, it's certainly great to see 4 very competitive teams into the semi-finals. Obviously with the different structure this year due to COVID. Again, a huge shout out to the Napier City Rovers crew for being able to run an effective tournament this year. But again, all 4 of these group winners, probably you've seen the cream rise to the top, and a couple of really good semi-finals, which will obviously hopefully not drain too much in the leagues, and we can have a good final here on Blue Water Stadium at about 12 o'clock today.
Of course, before that final, we have the women's final, which is between Petone and FC Nelson. We covered that game actually in the group stage yesterday. It was a very tight affair. They were expecting a great final on the women's side of the draw as well. It was great to be able to cover both tournaments while we're up here. We had a good selection of women's games across both pitches in the last couple of days.
Also, Chris, you mentioned the travelling supporters from Olympic. Also, one benefit is they're putting on a half-time show for us here up in the Combox. Unfortunately, some of the finishing has been decidedly average, so hopefully the next half of this half-time show is going to really ramp up, and we'll see a bit of quality out of these Olympic fans.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to happen, James. I don't think we're going to see too much quality from down there. No, certainly not. Tauranga side, we're just looking down at the team huddle having their halftime chat, all still on their feet. Obviously don't want to sit down and get those legs stiffening up. There's a lot of frustration across that group. Obviously, we saw the one flashpoint, but it just tells me that what we're seeing, they know that there's a couple of gears to go. They know they can ratchet up the pressure and the quality. So we're expecting a lot coming out of the Tauranga side in the second half. Obviously, 30 minutes, nothing to lose. You're already behind in the game. So you've just got the freedom to go and really attack this Olympic side in the second half. Olympic probably would take a slightly more conservative view into the break. They've already got the lead, so they don't need to go and chase another one. So that might be more likely to be the first team that takes that first step backwards in terms of field position and aggression and areas to press and all of those things that they've got set up so well in the first half to get them in the lead. It's always difficult, especially when you've got a little bit of heaviness in the legs and you're tired, to kind of stick with that high bar of what the coach's staff is asking you to do. But it's really important that they do that, because 30 minutes is a long time to park the bus. And I'm sure they won't do that. It's not in their nature. But it can start to creep in. Coaching staff will have to be alert to watching for those signs. And if Tauranga start to get a roll on and you're just getting pushed further and further back, it's going to be a long, long 30 minutes to hold out.
Again, the Olympic team just having a quick huddle here before getting back out for the second half.
So we're hearing pitch 4 is about a minute away from being back up. So again, apologies for the power supply issues, but almost resolved. In that game, we're back with you shortly. So certainly appreciate your patience if that was your preferred game of choice. So keep an eye out, and that stream will come live very soon. But on Blue Water, we are back. The players are back. Seeing the two finalists for the women's final just arriving to prepare for their game. But Olympic playing in the all-white will get us back underway against Tauranga in the black.
Hunt just needed a cap there and sticks for Olympic. Probably not used to seeing too much sun out at Wakefield Park.
Well, even if you get the sun, the wind's going to blow that hat right off your bumps. Good positive start here for Tauranga. Driving the touchline. Oh, we always feel sorry for the wingers when they do that massive drive, draw the challenge, and it just gets the ricocheted out for a goal kick.
Good intent there shown by Taylor. It's what you like to see coming out of the half-time break.
Well, it's the first positive sign, right? You're 10 seconds into the half and you've got your winger driving towards the 18-yard box. Kind of sets the stall out for the second half. It's a good start from Tauranga. Again, Olympic not showing the short option. Strong header. A little bit clumsy, but Olympic do win the ball off the ricochet. Horseshoe it around out to the right-hand side. How Kersey's got it.
It's a good little tussle out there on the far side. And the referee's seen a slight infringement there. Looks a little bit soft from some of the challenges that we've seen let go so far today, but obviously the referee's decided that there's something there.
Yeah, and happy to play the advantage. I'm always keen to see that. See the referee play a good advantage, see if the play develops before making that decision to come back. I'm just confirming that pitch 4 is back up and running. The Miramar North Wellington game is back up.
You're looking for a little bit of quality from delivery here from the Olympic set piece. It's a dangerous area here.
Towards the middle of the goal. First hit is won by Olympic on the knockdown. We've seen a free kick in there. So Tauranga will get a pressure relieving free kick. They can start to play out again. Two very differing play out styles between these two sides. Tauranga looking to play short at every opportunity before going long. Just gives them the chance to get their front runners up there. Olympic happier to set their stall out higher up and going direct early.
Again, I'd really like to see some of the Tauranga players get closer together. For that longer one, like you say, they've got the first pass going short, but then the second one predominantly goes a little bit longer, and unfortunately, especially in that instance, the Tauranga player was isolated and had 2 or 3 Olympic players around him trying to bring a long one down.
Throw into the corner of the box. Good little turn. But there's no runner to get there with a little flick on. And Tauranga will get the ball. I guess as this half goes on, it'll also be interesting to see what plan B looks like for Tauranga. They're already committing a lot of numbers forward. So as they chase this game, is it just a case of putting more numbers up? Or are they just going to do it sooner like you're asking? Movement forward for Olympic. Ball goes astray, but fortunately lands at the feet of Halakias. His delivery is cut out, and Tauranga can bring away comfortably.
Unfortunately here, Tauranga's just slowed the play down a little bit and given Olympic that opportunity to get back. You'd really like to see him do that at a little bit more pace and play forward and look to be really aggressive there.
Yeah, that being said, Olympic look fairly well organised at the back. They seem to know their jobs and they're straight back in when they lose possession. That's not a great ball and it's just rolled out. Both coaching staff pointing exactly where it needed to go. I think he knows that's where it needed to go. I don't know if he needs to be told.
It's one of those ones as a player where you just sort of hang your head, you know that you've made a mistake and don't necessarily need 2 or 3 people to tell you.
Yeah, overly aggressive challenge there coming through from Colette in the back. Give Tauranga a good attacking set piece.
Here you go, here comes Rostrom up from the back. You'd expect him to be a target man, and also Winnick, who's won a lot of goal kicks in that deep line midfield area.
Delivery arcing towards the back post. Good strong goalkeeping. Might have been going out, but goalkeeper never wants to take that gamble. Comes out, gets a good hand to it, nice and safe. Gives away a corner. They can get set up. Olympic got some big bodies in there. You think they'd be fairly comfortable dealing with these sort of deliveries. Also probably just put the mockers on that one. Delivery towards the back post. Good first up. Head up.
The ball just unfortunately wouldn't sit nicely for him there on the edge of the box.
Lets it drop. Gets the volley on, but it's deflected again. Olympic scrappily looking to get it out, but do now into a bit of space. It's a great touch around the corner. Drives towards goal.
Referee.
Says he's got the ball.
A couple of contentious calls so far, but obviously the referee was in a good position there to make a decision.
Yeah, not a huge amount of complaint. So obviously players and staff fairly happy with that challenge from both sides. Wonderful tackle. He looked like he was just ready to pull the trigger.
But again, it's that transition moment which is actually causing a lot of strife for both teams. Getting the ball forward quickly before the other teams had a chance to set up.
Alakias in the pocket again. Good and tight areas there from Olympic. Probably made the most of that contact, but doesn't have to get himself a free kick.
And we see Tauranga going to the bench here. Could this be the first sign that they're going to plan B?
Maybe. Vincent Perron is coming on.
See Halakias there having a few pieces of advice for the referee. The apple doesn't fall far from his the cousin tree there. Mikey was never backwards and coming forwards with his advice to referees.
Tauranga up, bring us forward again.
Fantastic challenge there in midfield from Olympic.
Yeah, Liam Knight really seems to be the go-to player for this Tauranga side. Cutting a frustrated figure though. He's done.
It's a fantastic tackle.
Yeah, it is a great last challenge, but very isolated. Picks it up in that wide area and really his only choice. Yeah, gives away the free kick. Does Jordan Toy. he received the ball in the last phase, and his only option there was to drive and try to get through 3, and he did a fantastic job to beat the first 2, obviously losing out to the last one, but he didn't really have much else in and around him. And you've spoken a little bit about that already, James, around, in particular, out on the other side with Liam Knight getting isolated a little bit and trying to get it to the front runners and just not having the numbers. And I think it's another case there where they're probably just asking a lot if a player has to get through at least a couple of defenders before being able to create a chance. Pretty low percentage stuff.
A fantastic last-ditch defending there from Rostrom in the 6-yard box there for Tauranga.
But keep the ball in. Probably wasn't a lot of ball there, but play's allowed to continue. And he's asking a lot of the fullback. He's going to get there. Great pace.
It's a very important challenge there from the Olympic defender. There was 3v2 in the centre there for Tauranga. If the Tauranga player was able to get there first and get a delivery, and it could have been very dangerous.
We see a change coming for Olympic now. Tor will be the player joining the field of play. I think Rota has gone off on the far side. Change for Tauranga as well. They will bring Charlie Peacock into the plate. See if he can influence the semi-final. I think it's Henry Kemp that's made way.
Peacock seems to be a crowd favourite here today. A rousing reception from the travelling support from Tauranga.
Yeah, just confirming that is Henry Kemp that's made way. It's in! Goal from nowhere. Big angle ball.
Unfortunately, it looked like that stoppage of play, Olympic just switched off a little bit.
Yeah, I'm saying like the referees just booked someone, whether it was just a scuffle post-goal, but it was a wonderful delivery. Opponent just seemed to drop, and then the first time ball back across, and be behind with a great first time finish. Yeah, there's a bit of scuffle between centre back and striker there, which has led to them both being carded, I believe. But game on here. Almost 41 minutes gone. Tauranga Olympic locked up at 1-1
Again, Tauranga just getting a few numbers together around that first longer ball, and then the second phase dropping down, and then a fantastic finish from close range. Again, like we said, you can get close to the goal with those shots, you're more likely to be able to get a goal out of it.
It's scrappy to get out. Referee's happy with the advantage. But good last pitch defending there. Tauranga got their tails up now. And when you're tired, momentum is such a massive part of the flow of the game. So Olympic have had that with the lead. Tauranga's eking their way back in, and that goal has just given them a massive lift. Olympic have to, one, take the wind out of their sails, probably by keeping the ball a little bit, just not letting them play. And then they've got to kind of dominate and assert their own authority back into this match.
Yeah, I think Olympics look really effective just down this near side when they've been able to play 1 and 2 touch in little triangles around Tauranga and keep the ball for a prolonged period of play. So again here, some controlled possession, finding feet.
Tauranga nick it away again. Try to drive out the outside, but goes out for a throw-in. It's probably for the next 5 minutes, you almost want to give Lucas Alakias a bit of a free roll here and just let him roam around the pitch and get on the ball, get plenty of touches. He's going to be the most likely to pop up, keep the ball for you, be able to recycle it well, and he'll just be able to take the sting out of the game.
Yeah, again, I think, as you can see, he's playing almost in that false 9 role at the moment, and playing a little bit higher up the field. So I'd like him to drop maybe a little 5 or 10 yards, find those spaces in between the lines, and get on the half turn and play as runners in. He's looked very effective in that role, linking up and joining the play, being that really good platform and then link. Looking for a bit of advantage there, and none coming.
Referee's risking the ire of the Tauranga fans there. He's played the advantage for Olympic. It didn't come because Tauranga picked it up and slipped the striker through one-on-one.
Be interesting here. It doesn't look like Olympic is sending too many players forward for the set piece.
No, slowly getting a couple in there now, but they're certainly not set up to go short either. They do deliver. Keeper comes.
It's effective
Gets
there.
enough.
So here Tauranga looking to hit a channel. And well composed defending there from Olympic. And that's another one there for Winnick. He's won a lot of that first wave ball at the base of the Tauranga midfield there.
Confirm on the pitch next door. It's also tied up at 1-1. Miramara found their equaliser. So both semi-finals evenly poised. Spoke in the first half, James, about how the crowd was pretty quiet and we put it down to being an early start. Certainly not the case now. As Tauranga try to drive into the box, but it's well cleared. Certainly not the case now. There's a lot of noise coming. It was much like this yesterday when I did the early game between Napier City Rovers and Stopout. Same sort of thing. Started out nice and quiet, but by the end it was a feisty clash, a lot of controversy, a lot of challenges. The crowd getting right into it. It's a great atmosphere. I know that we're limited in terms of numbers around the ground, but the atmosphere was great, and we're starting to see that come into this game now.
Yeah, I think also now that Tauranga's got that goal and got the wind in their sails, so to speak.
Goes inside. Thought he was going to hit that left-footed, but opted for the right-foot pass. Olympic do well to close the space. Seen a whistle. We haven't seen which way it's going yet. One of the players just coming together. They're all moving away. Looks like it's going to be Olympic ball.
Again, in these semi-final games, there's an extra 5 minutes in each half, so we're playing half an hour each way, so there's still 15 minutes to play here. So still plenty of time for either side to try and pinch a winner.
Yeah, McIntyre just taking the chance there at the break to address a few of his players, Lucas Alakias in particular, just around settling the game down. I think they're quite lucky in terms of staff who they've got on their sideline. There's not many coaches in the country who understand this tournament as well as Brendan McIntyre.
And it's a fantastic challenge on halfway. The Olympic left back have joined in.
Tauranga on the drive.
I think that's a sensible foul.
It's a pretty robust challenge by Thurston on the recovery. Takes his medicine, gets the yellow card, and Tauranga get a set piece. So yeah, these tournaments throw up everything. And McIntyre would have seen a lot of that through his years, both here and at Lower Hutt City. So he'll kind of know how to manage through these kind of situations. Would have seen these ebbs and flows. So hopefully his players are listening to him and taking the advice on board.
And again, they probably had a very positive experience in extra time yesterday, putting 4 on Northland. So again, getting into extra time, it shouldn't worry these Olympic players. They've been there, they've seen it.
A set piece to come from Tauranga. Hangs it to the back post. A goalkeeper came but didn't collect, and no one kind of got on the end of it. More drama on pitch 4. We'll bring you an update on that shortly. But as we wait for that to come through, Tauranga just go through a change at the moment. Mirko Brinkman is going to come in tin. I'm not too sure who's replacing yet. We'll have to wait to see a number. confirm that for you shortly. It's got the Nelson girls side just arriving next to the commentary box, just enjoying the last of this game before going up to their own final. Huge news from pitch 4. North Wellington has retaken the lead over Miramar Rangers and lead into the second half 2-1. Well, look, a little bit of confusion between defender and goalkeeper there. I think the goalkeeper was expecting the header back, which never came. But again, clears long. Doesn't get that as well as he's got others, so he just hangs it up on the halfway line. Good step out there, well played. Good composed defending. The Tauranga space to drive into. Charlie Peacock moves the ball forward well. Freedom of the byline. Cuts it back. Runs it out of play. That's a real scare for Olympic.
Yeah, very effective there from Tauranga. They're being able to switch it quickly and get your fullback on the ball and travelling forward at speed. Olympic were trying to slide over and do a defensive job, but unfortunately the midfielder weren't able to get there, and it was a 2v1 situation there for the left back of Olympic, and unfortunately the Tauranga City players, it just rolled out over the back line.
Still not a betting man, but if I was to wager my hard-earned cash, my money will be on Tauranga as this game closes out. Just on the balance of play, Olympic have the quality that could obviously take a game away from you very quickly. Northland learned that yesterday in extra time. But momentum shift was huge with the goal. Long throw in from Olympic.
I think also as we enter this last 10 minutes, there could be a flashpoint. So it's also understanding for these players as the tension gets high, who's going to be able to manage those big challenges or those big tackles or those big moments, and ultimately is going to be what decides the game.
Yeah, it's a 2v1 opportunity if Tauranga can control the ball. But Olympic get there first to see it out for throw-in. Yeah, you did right. And it's not just, we talk a lot about fatigue and physical fatigue, but it also plays on the mind. And your decision-making can suffer when you're tired, as everybody knows. So, as this game goes, especially if it goes into extra time, decisions can go very quickly. And whether it's a challenge or misread of a play or something like that, and that can be the winning or the losing of a tight game like this.
Comes Olympic looking in beyond. And no risk approach there from Tauranga. Sending that over onto pitch number 3, I think that is. Again, it feels like maybe some of the stings just come out over the last sort of minute or so. So it'll be interesting to see who brings that next wave of intensity as the game flows.
But they give them the freedom to recycle. Good little interplay here. Great play from Olympic.
Well defended though, back in numbers Tauranga.
Yeah, just got enough numbers to snuff it out. Let's drop to the area. I thought we might have had a little strike from there, but just tries for the dink over the top. Very hard to get the weight right when you're that close to the edge. Comfortable for the keeper to come. And again, Tauranga go short and bring the play out.
Just left his mate short there, Peacock. And Tauranga looked to recycle out the other way.
Yeah, Peacock's looked aggressive since he's come on. He's really wanted to get the ball in that fullback space and really drive forward. There's some space for him to move forward into now, but he's just stayed back to provide the cover as the delivery comes in. But,
there you go. You can see a few players in midfield there with their hands on their haunches. The team certainly looks to be starting to creep in.
Yeah, certainly the number of teapots increased dramatically late in these games.
go the sideline from Olympic, asking one of their players if he's going to go get the winner for them. Want that little bit of extra energy.
They got to bring it forward again. Great little ball over the top under a challenge. Does enough just to get a throw in. A little bit further up the park. See if they play it out or if they've got a specialist in there that can really put it in the mixer. Long throw-in's always difficult to deal with. Got the ball back. Napier finds it back through. Biwa can't hold. Olympic should be able to bring this out. Playing out through tight spaces, but they've done a good job. If this ball finds its mark, there was a slip on the far side, which allows the defender to step out. Goes for the strike, and again, now's the opportunity to counter-attack.
There's making the opportunity to press, and fantastic step there from the Tauranga City defender just to beat that first phase of the press.
Now they can settle. Now they've got it to feet. Looked at his two long options and they weren't on. So he takes his time, rolls it out and finds a great crossfield ball. Goes right to left. Good composed defending out of the back.
And again, Olympic seems just doing enough to hold on at the moment. Anywhere will do at this stage.
Crossfield ball may find its mark.
Well done by the goalkeeper from Tauranga.
Goalkeeper gets it. The first header clear. Quickly backtracks in, but Olympic do have possession. Driving forward. Touch can't be held and it goes back to the goalkeeper.
A bit of contact after the ball there. Olympic not happy about it, but the referee saw nothing. It's a good tackle on halfway.
It's another foul. Tauranga not in a rush. Got a line of 5 in their own half at the moment, with a couple in behind them. And they're not showing too much adventure at this stage.
And Olympic just need to be conscious of the second longer ball. Here you go. Comes a big switch. Right.
Yeah, we saw Rostron switch the ball nicely in that last play. This time just elects to keep it short. They look for Peacock in the channel. M. Knight recycles it back. Big 360 in the middle of the park. They're given away. Olympic so deep now that the quick counter attack's not on unless they really stream forward. So they have to go through that build-up phase. Now again, they've got 9 behind the ball now.
Well defended there again by the Olympic players, getting numbers around the ball.
Good first touch to open the play.
It's a fantastic bit of skill.
Yes.
Oh, unfortunately, it's just a bit heavy.
Yeah, if it stayed out, there'd be a question mark on the flag. I'm not too sure if we went a little early.
But again, there's those moments there that Olympic, they look likely.
Yeah, well, the numbers are getting behind the ball. If they're trying to attack quickly, the accuracy has to be 100%. Because there's going to be one runner into one space.
So again here, 4 minutes to go. Do you think either team's chasing a winner, or do you think both are happy to get it into extra time?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. The way I'm looking at it at the moment is Tauranga seem to be quite happy to take this to extra time. I think in the minute they're building up, we're seeing less across that front line than we saw in the first half. And again, as we're watching now, they're recycling it back to the goalkeeper. Olympic happy to sit deep, but they're certainly going for it as soon as they win the ball back.
So it'll be interesting here with the ball through the goalkeeper, whether he plays quickly or just keeps it to his feet and kills a bit of time.
And there's 2 advantages Tauranga have taking this into extra time. One is that Olympic went through the extra time period yesterday, late in the day too. So you know, that's an extra 15 minutes that Tauranga don't have. The second, of course, is that Tauranga were in the group with Lower Hutt City, who pulled out in the week leading up to the tournament. So yes, they had a friendly to make up, so they've got equal games, but a friendly brings a different kind of game. Like the intensity is not there to match, you would fully rotate your squad. So I just think they have a few less minutes in their legs. So I think that hands Tauranga the slight advantage in what is a really, really even game. Balls to the edge. Just a little scruffy shot from the edge. Gets a slight deflection and through to the goalkeeper. Big news from pitch 4. Miramar equalised again. We're sitting at 2-2 out on pitch 4.
And it sounds like that game on pitch 4 has just gone to extra time. Controversial decision here from the referee. A set piece. You'd expect Olympic to send some players forward and swarm the box. Potentially one last opportunity here for Olympic. But a quality from set piece could get them an opportunity.
Yeah, and we've seen Tauranga keeper a little bit smaller. So confident to come out, but he hasn't really claimed a lot. There's been a couple of punches, some really clean, some not so much. Could be an opportunity just to put it on the keeper and give it a rush. If they don't clear the first defender, which would be frustrating for the sideline.
But again, still numbers forward, so they can get a delivery. This will be a throw in deep in the corner. So Tauranga, 11 players behind the ball. No outlet, so Olympic could have some sustained period.
As James mentioned, final score on pitch 4, Miramar Rangers 2, North Wellington 2. Heading into extra time, which I'm sure the players will be delighted about. Long throw comes in. And Tauranga on the drive. Knight joins the attack, so it's 5v2 at this stage. They need the accuracy to be high. Knight's free in the area if they can find him. Get it to the edge of the area. Strike! Save!
Fantastic
what a save!
It's a fantastic breakout opportunity from Tauranga there in transition.
Hunt comes up huge. I'll take a breath as I scream into the microphone. So just to confirm, with the game's going to extra time, they are 2 7.5-minute periods to find a winner.
Tauranga do a variation and go short here.
Back to Knight. Strike from deep.
He's going to have to do better than that to beat the goalkeeper here.
And we have full time on Blue Water Stadium as well. Tauranga 1, Wellington and Olympic 1. Wow. Wow, both semi-finals going to extra time. Intriguing match.
As we see both sets of players come off the field here. Hard to tell who's feeling worse for wear. They're both looking pretty tired and pretty lethargic. As a coach here, Chris, what are you telling your players, and what's the tactic? Are you trying to hold on for 15 minutes for extra time? Are you trying to pinch it? What's your goal here?
Yeah, I think you're always trying to pinch it in extra time. Penalties is just a lottery, is just a coin flip, and as a footballing side, you don't want to have to leave everything up to the lap of the gods, so to speak. So you want to go and try to win this game. But coaching-wise, there's not a lot you can do at this point. Your tactics are set. You can give some advice around areas you can exploit or areas you need to be aware of. But ultimately, when you get to this stage of a game, and particularly this time of a tournament, it's all leggy. So it all becomes top 2 inches. It all becomes attitude. So if you look around that group, I'm looking at, Tauranga all on their feet now. If you look at your group of players and they're all on their feet and they're all amped, ready to go, that's what you want to see in these halftime breaks. At the end of the day, when it comes to the final whistle, you've taken your semi-final to extra time. You've done everything that the club and the coaches and the supporters can ask you to do. So now it's about just going out there and doing it for yourself and just trying to show that pride in your club and pride in the jersey to just get yourself over that last little hurdle, because it's all mental now. And that holds true even more when you get down to the penalty shootout stage. At that stage, you're looking for who wants to take a penalty. That's the most critical part.
And again, I think for some of these players, their last opportunity to play at under 19, so that adds to it as well. I was speaking to a couple of the Olympic supporters, and there's 2 or 3 of their boys that this is their last opportunity under 19, so they'll want to go out as winners, and I'm sure from the Tauranga City perspective as well, there are a couple of boys there who this will be their last opportunity to come to Napier and participate in this fantastic tournament. So again, it's another opportunity for some of those players to make a name for themselves and potentially go down as club legends.
Yeah, Olympic have had a wonderful season. Obviously, Central League champions qualifying for the national stage of the National League. Hopefully that try to get off the ground at some level, obviously with the Auckland and Waikato restrictions. I think close it out with a strong under-19 performance. I mean, I think that they'd be delighted with what they've put out here already. But, you know, Olympics Olympic, and they always want more. You've played there. You've played everywhere.
You're not wrong there, Chris. Spent a few good years at Olympic.
But you understand the culture of Wellington Olympic, right? It's a big family club, but a real drive for perfection and drive for success. So whether you're under 19 or the senior side, the club really urges you to do well. And I think these boys have done them proud so far. They've got 15 more minutes to find a winner before taking it to extra time.
I think as a player, there's a really big incentive to sort of pay back the support you get off the field. So a lot of work obviously goes in off the field at the clubs. So as a player, it's always nice to be successful on the field and repay some of that support that you get from the administration and all those people around the club doing things that go unseen to most people.
Yeah, and in terms of Tauranga, we spoke at the end of the first half that they were fairly well dominated in that first half by Wellington Olympic, and we talk about the frustration and the fact that we just felt that they looked like they knew they had more to give. And I think second half they certainly delivered that, and they went right up the gears and were the better side to finish that game. And I think if it had the game rolls on another 10 minutes, it wouldn't surprise me if Tauranga did enough to get over the line and win that game in normal time. But obviously time runs out, and we now enter 2 periods of 7.5 minutes, and it's going to be that restart. And we spoke a lot after the goal around momentum shifts and how that works. Well, the momentum will stop now because of the break, and we've had a period now of 5 minutes where they sit back and they recover, and now it's all about restarting. And what can they do? Can they match that level that they were getting to at the end of the second half? And we'll find out now as they get us restarted.
Challenge there.
The big boys in there.
That's the sort of shoot for Tauranga City, putting himself about, winning a couple of challenges.
Mirko Brinkman. He's under 19, but he certainly looks like a guy I wouldn't want to mess with.
And again, we just see here on the near side, Tauranga have 2 or 3 players in this left-hand channel. So again, they're obviously trying to get closer together and work off that second phase ball.
Good switch of play again. Rudiscunda Ward.
Again, Olympic look relatively content here, just keeping their medium block, picking their moment to decide when to bite.
Pretty deep block now. Probably a deeper set point than we've seen so far from Olympic.
As you mentioned that, the comment from the sidelines to get higher. So again, as you can see between the front players and the back four, there's about 60 metres, which for the midfield is a hell of a lot of area to cover.
Yeah, and the problem they've got leaving a space like that is we've already seen Liam Knight in particular look to drop off that front line into the pocket. And that pocket of space, if they continue that deep line, it's a good 20 metres of space that he can turn into. And we've seen him adept at driving with the ball at his feet, and we've seen him be able to pick a pass. So if you're giving that freedom, it could come back to hurt.
As Tauranga here look to break through.
Great drive into the
box.
area. Liam Knight pulls back, receives it. Opens onto his left. He's left-sided. It's always hard. As a left footer, I try to avoid swinging my right foot at all costs. But when that ball comes across, you've got to go right foot and go back across the goalkeeper, and you'll get a better connection. As soon as he opens his body, you automatically start to lean back, and that's when you get that shank over the top. A great movement to get to the byline and a great run. He's just checked it to come deeper, has Liam Knight.
It's a fantastic run. Great movement to check off his defender and get to the penalty spot, and he'll be disappointed with himself, I'd like to think.
Just had everything but the finish there. But, you know, in the break, we asked whether they could keep that same intensity from the end of the second half? And I think the short answer is yes.
So again, here come Olympic, trying to start a little higher now. See that scare. But again, Tauranga is leaving 4 players across the back 4, so you're man for man at the back here for Olympic.
Switch comes through again. Goodwood really getting involved in the second half now. First half of extra time, I should say. But again, that could be a sign of the deep lying block that we talked about for Olympic. The deeper they are, the more space they're encouraging that fullback to get into, and he seems more than happy to take it.
I think the less we say about that, the better, Chris.
One thing I would like to say about that is the ability to take a shot from outside and put it on top of the hedges on the fence is pretty impressive.
Again, just looking at the players, it does look like Tauranga does have a little bit extra energy out there at the moment. Olympic's a little bit slow, not as high tempo as we have seen previously. So maybe those 15 minutes extra time yesterday are really starting to catch up.
Yeah, the Olympic supporters out on the far side, they seem pretty quiet. I don't know whether they used all their energy in the half-time show or if there's just a few nerves up there, but I think there'll be a flashpoint that will get them back into it.
And again, it just takes one moment of either individual brilliance or a strong challenge and that's going to get everyone going. So look to your leaders within your group to really have those moments of brilliance and really put the rest of the team on their shoulders and carry them forward.
This is a really good play out from Wellington Olympic. Really good to get through the pressure. But it's settled in. Tauranga got their blocks in place. Great little ball around the corner from Lucas Alakias. They've got wrong side. Little dink over the top. Wrong side of the defender. Straight offside, but regardless offside or not, Troy Taylor in goal comes up trumps with a great save. He wasn't to know the flag was coming.
So again, I think you can actually see the differences. So that chance that came from Tauranga, it was quite a direct ball from their right back forward, and they were playing 3v3 up in Olympics territory, whereas the Olympic chances come from some great intricate play on the edge of the box and little 1-2s and running off shoulders. So it'll be interesting to see if that trend continues or...
They're on the build again. Fight it through. Flag's gone up.
It's a fantastic step there from the Olympic defender.
Yeah, well organised at the back. I think that's one thing we can say about both these sides. Very well organised defensively. Great turn. Asking for a foul, but the play goes on. Probably better to go support your mate than ask for the free kick on the edge, but...
And Olympic here starting to play through.
Freedom to turn.
Good area there. One of the Olympic players looks to be having a bit of trouble there in midfield.
Yep. We'll allow the physio to come out and give treatment.
It looks like Walker there. He ran into a brick wall as he went for the 1-2 on the edge of the box. And
the game will just settle. Everyone can take a breath with an injury break.
But again, a good little period there for Olympic, following that opportunity for Tauranga.
Yeah, well, I've certainly seen an improvement in the accuracy of the play out. They've gone short a couple of times now, which we haven't seen earlier. And they're just finding their way to play through the thirds.
We're probably expecting this one to come a little bit longer down this near side. They've added a few players.
Fullback joins outside Knight, and we'll look to receive that.
As if you
Good
drew that up,
touch.
Chris.
All across. Bidwell will look to set it.
I think we've done well to swarm the ball though.
Yeah, well organised. Allowing the pass, but certainly not allowing anything from the pass. And they're forced them to come all the way back where they've nicked it.
Oh, referee.
It's a card.
That could be your flashpoint you were talking about.
Yeah, we got them on their feet on the stands after that.
Very well done from the Olympic striker there though to draw the contact settle things down. There wasn't a lot else going on for him. He was relatively isolated. It's half time at extra time. Both teams having a couple of opportunities, so
I'll be honest, I got lost in enjoying that game. I didn't know what that whistle was for. Realise that's the first 7.5 minutes done.
again, I think Olympic have a decision here. The young boy Walker who's come off, I'm not sure whether he's had a bit of blood and has a bleeding nose, or whether he's going to be able to return given the knock to the head. So there's a couple of decisions going on. The physio and assistant coach Matt College are having a few in-depth conversations. But again, fantastic to see both teams really trying to win it in this phase of extra time.
They both have. And, we wondered how they would approach it. Olympic probably set up a little bit deeper, but they're certainly still going for it on the counter-attack. And Tauranga are just front foot football at the moment. So they're both stuck with their philosophy and how they want to play. We're still seeing Tauranga on the play out every time, every opportunity, and it's serving them well at this stage. But 7.5 minutes, it's not a long time.
And again, just as we're having this quick little break, it's still 2-2 out on the other pitch. So again, thanks to Cello Sport, we've got 2 pitches going live and have all tournaments, sorry. So again, both of these semi-finals and the men's draw have gone to extra time. And we can see both the women's team with their final coming up after this. So unfortunately that's been pushed back a little bit as we wait for this game to play out here on Blue Water Stadium.
And it looks as though Liam Knight has been withdrawn for the last 7 minutes.
I think the referee's enjoying the break as much as the players, to be fair.
So as we go through this last 7.5 minutes, do the coaches think about a Southgate-esque substitution policy for penalty takers? Is that something? I mean, that might be something that starts to creep into the minds.
This is true. Unfortunately, though, from my experience at under-19s, your bench isn't quite as deep as Southgate's was in the Euros most recently. So
that's all relative. In a way, I hope it doesn't go that far. I think either of these teams, deserves to win this in normal time and not go through that additional drama. But when you're looking ahead to the final, whoever's in it, because we've got 4 teams still in play, at least the balance will be equal minutes in the legs to kind of level out that playing field.
Some good distribution here from Lucas Halakias, finding some space down the near side. Again, another little one too. Unfortunately, he's overhit it a little bit, but still, Olympic in a good area here. Fantastic organisation here from Hunt, making sure that his charges are alert to the transition, which has been effective for Tauranga.
Another long throw in. First one cleared well. Pass back, not accurate. Goalkeeper. The goalkeeper's nearly killed our boss up high in the grandstand. Now that would be a story to take back to the office tomorrow. Thurston keeps it in well. Flag stays down and Olympic can bring it forward.
Unfortunately, it's been quite slippery out there for some of the players. They've lost his footing quite often, but again, Tauranga effective, coming forward quickly.
Yeah, Brickman with a good switch of play, but doubled up on that far side. So Olympic can stream forward. The old stop and go gets through the first challenge. Whipped out to the left.
Look for this transition moment here, out on Tauranga's right, if he can get it. So it's an effective foul.
Yeah, not a bad foul, but they don't take the opportunity to get back in Olympic, so they're in the same position when the free kick gets taken.
Fantastic.
Probably a sign of fatigue.
Very good defending there. Strong Khalid.
McIntyre getting frustrated on the sideline.
I've certainly heard that in my time under Brendan McIntyre.
Which club was that at?
Again, Olympic to play out into these wide channels.
Thurston drops it inside, looks for it back, but doesn't get it. Not a bad idea. Jones just looking for that longer straight pass. Straight runs are always hard. Straight pass, always hard to find the right weight of pass to create that link.
Has to be very accurate.
Tauranga in behind with the longer ball to the left side. Delivery to the middle. Late runner to the back post. Just can't get past the first defender. The Olympics chance to counter now.
Well defended there. And again, Olympic not really committing into a press.
No, but ball given away. Could lead to an opportunity on the edge of the area.
Fantastic save
Strike,
there.
first one saved. And
Troy
covers up
Taylor
the second one.
Coming up big there for Tauranga there. And a few tied legs there. A misplaced pass and Olympic looking to hit on the counter very quickly. And then, like we said, Taylor coming up big for Tauranga and sticks there.
Oh, mistimed header. Talked about that decision making. Bidwai gets in, but well closed up at the back. Great read to step out. Tauranga have it deep. Olympic now with 10 behind the ball. Deliver into the area, but first header cleared. Second header cleared. And Chira will bring it down. The ball forward. I think the AR's right on that far side. I think he just went a touch early. It was close.
I think both of the ARs have been very good today. They've been very, very early in their offside calls, and I think they've been spot on for most of it.
Yeah, I agree. I like the early flag. Some of the rule changes, and it's certainly not a dig at the officials. It's more about the rules in general. But I think the flags have generally come so late that it just causes that added frustration. But they flag very early.
Especially when you're a defender, you don't want to be doing 30-metre stretches when you don't have to.
We're hearing something coming out from pitch 4. We'll keep you in the loop with how that's going.
Oh, and a slip on halfway here.
Slip on halfway, it's Olympic in.
Round the keeper.
It's finished!
Bedlam here on pitch 1 as well.
There's the Olympic fans streaming out of the grandstands. So late drama, both pitches. Yeah, an unfortunate defensive slip.
Fantastic composure though by the Olympic striker.
Oh, absolutely. Takes it round the goalkeeper and slots it home. What we can tell you from the other pitch is that North Wellington has retaken the lead. They lead Miramar 3-2.
Here come Tauranga though, sending 8 players forward from the kick-off.
Yeah, good on the nothing to lose.
Looking for a delivery here, going deep to the back post.
First header is one. They'll have to pick up the second one and do. But it drops into the area where Tauranga will be able to recover the ball.
Again, just conscious here, there's 3 runners from Tauranga not necessarily picked up from Olympic.
But Olympic win it. Force it clear. Streaming forward. I don't know how eager they'll be to attack the goal. I think they'll be happy for time at this stage.
Hit an area here.
Giro taking it to the flag.
And he's done well there.
Yeah, he's done well. He'll win a throw-in. We're into the last minute of this extra time period.
Again, here comes the game management phase from Olympic.
Jonesy, good, get it, keeper.
Here it comes out. Strike from distance. Probably not what the staff wanted. It gives the ability to go long. First one missed. Can they find Beware over the top? Great challenge.
He's been outstanding in there today. Just playing this to 6, playing as a deep line midfielder, covering where he has to. It's a great little challenge. That'll G up the rest of the defence.
There's not going to be a lot of time left once this ball's back into play. I think the next time Olympic get it, it might be over.
Again, it's another
Great
fantastic challenge. And anywhere will do.
And that's full time. Wellington Olympic progressed to the final 2-1 after extra time, after coming through extra time in the quarterfinal as well.
Again, it's a bitter pill to swallow for Tauranga City. They made a fantastic competition of that. Again, it's probably a benefit it didn't go to penalties, but it's never nice to win those knockout, or to lose, sorry, those knockout games in extra time.
Absolutely, and the big news obviously from pitch 4-2 is that Miramar Rangers have been eliminated at the semi-final stage. 3-2 by North Wellington, who score in the last minute as well. So high drama across both fields. 2 epic semi-final matchups and an all-Wellington final to come between North Wellington and Wellington Olympic. So with that, we thank you for joining. Again, the repeating message around subscribing to the Chiller Sport channel to make sure you don't miss any of the action. And we'll be back with you very, very soon for the women's final between Nelson FC and Petone Football Club. We look forward to seeing you then.